Greetings and salutations and welcome to Sault High Blue Devil Hockey on Eagle 95.1. Scott Nason filling in for Tim Ellis, broadcasting live from the Big Bear Arena in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, as we await the start of tonight's contest between the Sault High Blue Devils and the Romeo Bulldogs. We are joined by the one, the only Dan Lasley here on color. Dan, thanks for joining me in the broadcast booth tonight.
You're welcome. Nothing else to do.
That's right.
Might as well be at a hockey game.
That's right. Our broadcast engineer tonight, Lance Monroe, back in the Eagle 95.1 studios as well. Dan, the Sault High Blue Devils off to a good start this year. 3-0-1 on the season as they are taking on a Romeo team 2-0. And so this will be really a big test for the Blue Devils. No offense to the four teams that they've played so far, but Romeo might be the best of the four. Thoughts going into this game?
Yeah, I would think so too. The three games that they played that I saw, good competition, but not the Detroit area style tough teams that they're used to playing, and it'll be a good test for them this weekend.
Yeah, looking at the games that have been played so far for the Sault High Blue Devils, they started off their season November 17th here at the Big Bear Arena as they defeated Milford by the score of 3-2. And then the next afternoon, they also won a 3-2 contest, this one against Lakeland. Their first road game was on November 21st as the Sault High Blue Devils defeated Sheboygan by the score of 7-3. And then this Tuesday, Dan, something I'm very fond of, a tie. As the Sault High Blue Devils and Alpena Wildcats skated to a 3-3 tie. So the Blue Devils 3-0-1 on the year. And, going to that game on Tuesday, 3-3 tie against the team that knocked them out last year. It's going to be one of those years, I think, as far as the Sault High Blue Devils, once they get to the playoff portion of the schedule. And, you look at this game tonight and tomorrow taking on Utica Eisenhower. Eisenhower defeated Marquette earlier by the score of 7-5. While the wins and losses are important, we always say it's where you get your team to come late February, early March. And right now, the Sault High Blue Devils off to a good start, but, they have a ways to go before they want to get to where they obviously want to be come late February.
Right, and Coach Ferroni always emphasizes it's all about teaching and it's all about March. Sure, wins and losses are nice to have, but it's all about preparing for the playoffs. And I think with this team being so young, and I've heard them say it over and over again, it's a teaching type of year, and got to teach the young kids. It looks like I'm messing up some equipment.
No, you're not messing up anything, Dan. You just keep going. Don't even worry about this man to our right.
And, so it's a process. And so far they've done, I think, pretty well. I mean, I've watched 3 of their games, and I thought they did well. They are young, and, someone like Sheboygan was an older team, more physical, but they prevailed, and I think if they stay out of the penalty box, they had a little trouble with that in Alpena, but of course when you go to Alpena, that's always a problem.
Always a little challenging there. Yeah. Always some issues with officials from time to time.
But coming out of there with a tie down in Alpena's home rink, I think that was it was good. It was good.
Sault High Blue Devil Hockey brought to you by O'Connor's in Pickford. Check out their full line of Dodge, truck, Ram, and Jeep vehicles and the pregame show. Brought to you by the Wicked Sister, burgers, starters, snacks, shareables, soups, and tapas. Voted the #1 pub in the UP in the Upper Peninsula on Ashman Street, and also host of our sports show, The Game, heard every Monday night starting at 6 o'clock. And this Romeo team, Dan, they've played 2 games so far this year, 2-0. They defeated Lowell Caledonia by the score of 6-4. And then their last game on November 18th, defeated Utica by the score of 5-2. And of course they play a very challenging schedule, much like Sault High does. And this is a team that nobody can take lightly. What do you know anything about this Romeo team? Have you seen them before? And what should the Blue Devils expect?
I seen them 2 years ago when they won a state championship.
Yeah, I was going to say they're usually pretty good.
And if you look at the roster, there's a former Sioux family on here. Slags. Billy was on the team a few years ago, and my son Zach played.
Yeah, I noticed that last name.
So there's a little Sioux connection there.
Absolutely.
But they're always a tough team. They're usually pretty good size, physical, and they're steady, fundamentally sound, and they play a tough brand of hockey.
First game tonight here, Dan, Marquette, and Eisenhower. Eisenhower had a 6-2 lead when I was setting up shop here in the third period. To start the third period, Marquette came back, scored 3 goals, made it 6-5, and then Eisenhower got a goal at the end, 7-5. Thoughts on that game? Pretty entertaining game.
I worked the penalty box for that game, and if you would have walked in and not looked at the scoreboard and just watched the game for 10 minutes, you would have swore Marquette was in the lead.
Right.
They dominated 80% of the game. The 20% they didn't, they give up 5 goals and they lose.
We're going to take our first break here on our pregame show, sponsored by the Wicked Sister. When Dan and I come back, we're going to look around the Upper Peninsula at some of the other games that have happened this week and get ready for tonight's contest between the Sault High Blue Devils and the Romeo Bulldogs. You are listening to Sault High Blue Devil Hockey on Eagle 95.1. Welcome back to Sault High Blue Devil Hockey on Eagle 95.1. Scott Nason and Dan Lasley here at the Big Bear Arena. Our broadcast engineer tonight, Lance Monroe. We're just about ready to get started here in game number 5 for the Blue Devils, as the Sault High Blue Devils 3-0-1 on the season, taking on the Romeo Bulldogs. Romeo 2-0 on the season. Sault High in their home white jerseys with the blue trim. Romeo in their road red jerseys with the white trim. As Sault High will be going right to left as seen on your radio dial, and we are underway here at Big Bear Arena. Logan Mackey with the puck in his own zone, slides it over to Basil Moran. Now Moran with the Blue Devils, clears it to center. Ben Jones on the near side, taken away there by Lindecker for the Bulldogs. Now he passes it over to Milana. Back to the point. Evangelista will shoot it in. On the near side boards, Basil Moran. Sault High 2-0 at home this season, winning a pair of 3-2 games in their opening weekend. Now pocket center ice. Blue Devils try to catch up to it. Drew Larson has it poke checked away. Taken there by Slag. Now the Blue Devils with it across the blue line. That'll be offside with 40 seconds gone by here in this first period.
See young Rafaelle starting in net tonight.
Yeah, starting goaltender for the Blue Devils, Logan Rafaelle, the freshman.
Yep.
We talked to Coach Ferroni a couple weeks ago on the game. He said he would be playing both goaltenders, and, well, we're seeing the freshman get the start tonight. Puck in the Bulldogs' end. Blue Devils keep it in. That shot wide by Alex Gordon along the far side boards. Aiden Armstrong behind the net. Matthew Thurston. Thurston with the puck. Backhands behind the net to Aiden Armstrong. 2 Armstrongs playing on this line.
Oh.
Number 7, Alec Armstrong, the freshman. Now here's a 2-on-1 for Romeo. Slag across the blue line. Slag with the shot. Goes high and wide. Rebound along the near side boards to Jack Wilde. Now the Bulldogs with some pressure. Rahal, centering chance, goes off the skate of the Romeo player. Now the Blue Devils have it, rather. Thurston across the blue line. Thurston with the shot that goes off the stick of the Romeo player. Thurston still has it. Over to Aiden Armstrong, near side boards to his brother Alec. Alec Armstrong, number 7 for the Blue Devils, rather. On the near corner, taken away by the Bulldogs. Rahal with it. It's along the near side boards. That's center ice. Jack Wild. Now Wild puts a shot wide of Rafaelle. Puck taken by the Blue Devils. Rob Landis. Landis centering pass. Goes into the Romeo zone. And the first save for goaltender number 1, Drake Davis, for the Romeo Bulldogs. He is a senior. So you have a freshman on one end for Sault High, Dan, and a senior on the other end for the visiting Romeo Bulldogs.
And that's the way it's going to be most of the year.
Yep, absolutely. Face off to the right of Davis. Won by the Blue Devils. Poke checked away by McCullough. Now a chance in front, a shot and a save, rebound. Good chance in front. Now another shot, save, rebound. Another shot, save, rebound. Oh, my goodness.
Oh.
Kevin Smith had an open net, but he puts it high. Sault High with lots of chances there. Blue Devils with the puck, back at the point tonight. With the shot, that deflects wide. Sault High with some pressure here early in this first period. Romeo with the puck. They'll clear it to center. Shot right back in by Landis. Now chasing the puck in his own zone is Citro behind the Romeo net. Citro with the puck. He'll put that off the netting, so that'll be a face-off in the Romeo zone. Boy, Dan, Sault High, 2-3 good chances in the front of the net.
12 there, the young what's his name?
Kevin Smith.
Yeah, young Smith. He's really stood out the games I've saw. He creates a lot of chances and he gets a lot of scoring opportunities, and he scored quite a few goals here.
Sault High Blue, yeah, absolutely, Dan. Sault High Blue Devil Hockey brought to you by the Sioux Co-op Credit Union, strong, independent, and local. Your credit union. Romeo clears the zone after the face-off. Shot back in by the Blue Devils. Now that's Caden Brown with the shot. High blocker save there by Davis. So Sault High out shooting Romeo 3-0 here early in this first period. Puck along the near boards, taken by Larson. Now centering chance. That one will be shot down the ice. Then it'll be icing and bring the face-off back in the Romeo zone. So if you're Coach Ferroni, after 3 minutes, you got to be pretty happy with the start of this one.
Yes, real good pressure by all three lines that have been out there so far. Got great scoring opportunities. A couple of good saves by the Romeo goalie.
Sault High Blue Devil Hockey brought to you by Chuck Renzi Ford. You have a relative in the car business at Chuck Renzi Ford in Newberry. Stop in at Newberry Avenue 309. Check them out on Facebook, Chuck Renzi Ford of Newberry. Should be 309 Newberry Avenue. I got ahead of myself on that, Dan, as that puck will go out of play. We'll have a face-off inside the Romeo zone.
Yeah, all three face-offs in the zone, too. Sault High's done a good job and won all three. That's why they're getting these scoring chances.
Our first game tonight had Eisenhower defeat Marquette by the score of 7-5. Marquette will be in action tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock against these Romeo Bulldogs, while the Blue Devils, they'll take on Eisenhower tomorrow afternoon at 3. Tim Ellis will have the call of that one. Now we have another puck that goes off the netting, so that'll keep the face-off in the Romeo zone.
It's a good spot to be.
Absolutely. The Lakers still trailing Alaska by 4-1 count. That one almost midway through the second period.
Yeah. Time to come back.
Yeah, it hasn't been a good start for the Lakers. Got to win those home games against the teams that are below you in the standing, that's for sure. Now puck goes back to center ice, chasing the Blue Devil zone. Sault High has it. Refushinski, that one I had to practice a few times before the broadcast. Big hit there at center ice by Ganfield. Now the Blue Devils out shooting the Bulldogs 3-0 here early in this first period. We have no score. Aiden Armstrong across the blue line. Poke checked away there by Ganfield. Now puck goes back to center ice. Refushinski, number 3 with the shot up high. Hit the goaltender in the mask. Drake Davis and Logan Rafaelle, not exactly the tallest goaltenders we'll see this year.
No.
We don't have stats on them, but I would say they're about, 5'6"?
Maybe.
On skates?
Yeah, that was a nice shot by 3. You say his name.
Yeah, Refushinski.
Yeah, quarter inch the other way. That was in because it hit him right square in the mask.
12:59 to play in this first period. No score. Sault High and Romeo.
Another face-off one.
Face-off won by the Blue Devils. That shot goes wide by Landis. Puck over in the far corner, taken there by Pianini. Now the Bulldogs take that puck away. Kept in by the Blue Devils. Now a chance for Larson. Nice move. Larson to the net. Shot up high. Off the blocker of Davis. Sault High controlling play here early in this first period.
Good forecheck.
Now puck behind the net. Larson with it. Larson, the captain, one of the 2 captains for the Blue Devils, pass it over to Landis. His shot, and a nice, nifty glove save there by Davis. That puck had eyes. That was going in the net.
Yeah, it had a Blue Devil right on the doorstep waiting for a rebound. MacArthur, but it didn't happen. Nice glove save.
12:26 to play in this first period. No score. Sault High with an impressive start.
Yeah, they're smothering Romeo right now in their own zone here.
Blue Devil Hockey brought to you by the Sioux Insurance Agency. Call Fred DeVono and the helpful staff at Sioux Insurance Agency today, a proud sponsor of Sault High Hockey. Now the Blue Devils keep the puck in the zone off the face-off. Romeo with it. Now in front, a deflection. Kept alive by the Bulldogs, who kind of the similar start that Eisenhower had the first few minutes of that first game, Dan. It looked like they weren't quite off the bus yet. And, hopefully if for the Sault High Blue Devils, Romeo doesn't follow suit to what Eisenhower did, where they woke up eventually.
Yeah, second period.
Shot 6-0 Sault High here. 5 minutes into this first period. Now Romeo with the puck, cross the blue line, Slag with it. Over along the far boards. Taken away there by Elijah Clow. Now Clow gets the puck to center ice for the Blue Devils. Romeo with the puck in their own zone. McCullough, center ice to Wild. Shot in. Blue Devils now have it at center ice, and shot in there by Bumbacco. Number 19, Aaron Bumbacco for the Blue Devils. Now Drew Larson with the puck. Larson goes off the skate of Moran, picked up by Slag at center ice. Slag with it. Blue Devils just all over Romeo right now.
Good back check by Larson.
Shot 6-0 Sault High early. Still no score. Shot into the Romeo zone, and that'll be icing with 11:12 to play in this first period. Shot 6-0 Sault High, but we have no score.
Yeah, all the action's been down on the Romeo goalie, which is a good place the Sioux wants to be. So
Leading scorer for the Romeo squad is Joey Morris. In 2 games, he has 5 goals and 2 assists, 7 points. So keep an eye on number 22 and number 23, Ryan Peters. In 2 games, 7 assists. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So 22 and 23 really the players to key in on for the Sault High Blue Devils.
And they're out there now.
They are. As puck over along the far boards. There's 4 players over there fighting for that puck. Finally kept out there, I should say, shot to center by the Blue Devils. Now shot right back in by Sunderlich for the Bulldogs. Sault High has it. Wojcicki will clear that one to center. Picked up by Ben Jones at center ice. Now taken away by the Bulldogs. Milana across the blue line. Now Milana with the shot. That one stopped by the Blue Devils. And taken by Ben Jones at center ice. Jones across the blue line with the shot. That one goes wide. On the far boards. Now the Blue Devils. Caden Brown back to the point. Wojcicki puts it behind the net. Ben Jones now along the near boards. Jones taken away there by Milana for the Bulldogs. Now Romeo gets it to center ice. Their captain, Lindecker, across the blue line. That's offside. Good call there by Lance Brown, one of our officials. We have Lance Brown along with Charlie Gimple as our referees, and we have Chase Meehan on the line.
Who just reffed the game prior to this, so he's getting a little workout.
10-10 to play in this first. He's young. He can do that. 10-10 to play in this first period. No score. Face off outside the Blue Devils' blue line. Won by the Blue Devils as they have it. Landis. Pass over to Pianini. Now across the blue line. Alec Armstrong. Armstrong now behind the net. Alec Armstrong has his brother Aiden right with him. Now passes over to Thurston. Over along the far boards. Kept in by the Blue Devils. Behind the net. Armstrong. Over to Armstrong. Alec Armstrong with it. Alec Armstrong. Passes along the near side boards to Aiden Armstrong. Behind the net to Thurston. Centering chance. That one goes all the way through. Wow. And down the ice. Logan Rafaelle has not seen a shot yet in this game.
That's good.
That is, yeah. I can't complain about that.
Ooh.
Now broken up there at center ice by the Bulldogs. Blue Devils have it. They'll clear it to center. Thurston had it poke checked away. Romeo looking for some sort of offense. Could have been an interference call there on Cody for the Bulldogs. Nothing called. Now here's Armstrong. Aiden Armstrong with the puck. Centering chance. Goes through the slot. Picked up by Cody. Cody up to center ice. Blue Devils just all over Romeo right now. They can't get anything going.
Yes, they're playing well both ends of the ice.
Now shot back in by the Blue Devils. 9 minutes to play in this first period. Still no score. Blue Devils dominating the first part of this period.
Still no shots on young Rafaelle.
Yeah. Now the Blue Devils with it in their own zone. Basil Moran passing it near side. Logan Mackey back to Moran. Now Moran's pass goes all the way down the ice into the zone of the Bulldogs. Now here's the Blue Devils with a chance. Poke checked away. Bumbacco as Romeo has it. Now they'll shoot it in. On the far side board, Slag chases it. He has Moran on him. Puck behind the net. Kevin Smith on the near side boards. Blue Devils doing a good job breaking it out of their own zone here tonight. As I say that,
turnover.
It usually happens. Yep. Now the Blue Devils clear it to center. Aaron Bumbacco 1-on-2 across the blue line. Bumbacco, nice move. Bumbacco gets in a shot.
Went to the net good.
Yes, Davis had to make the save there. 1-on-2. You can't complain about that. Blue Devils with control in the Bulldog zone. Under 8 minutes to play in this first period. Not a lot of whistles here early.
No.
And now here's Romeo. They clear it to center. Michael Slag will shoot it in. And that could be Rafaelle's first save. We'll see if they count that one on the shot clock.
It was a dump in, but
yeah, it was. Now another shot, and that one's saved there by Davis, and he'll hold with 7:33 to play in this first period. Dan, it's been all Sault High, but we have no score.
It's been a great start for Sault High. They're just smothering Romeo, not letting them get over into the zone, and when they do, they have to just dump it in. And
Sault High Blue Devil Hockey brought to you by the Sioux Evangelical Free Church, meeting you where you are, located on John Street. Blue Devils win another face-off. Now Romeo trying to get a shot. They did not credit that dump in as a shot. Shot 7-0 in favor of the Blue Devils. Now here's Gordon across the blue line. Over to Jones. Poke checked away. Jones tried to get it over to his player. Now taken away by Evangelista. Evangelista for the Bulldogs will clear it to center. Now Caden Brown. Had it taken away there by Sunderlich. Milana for the Bulldogs. Across the blue line.
Oh.
That's a big hit there. That's going to be a penalty on Larson.
Yeah.
Dan, they're going to call that all day when that happens as
boarding
call.
Behind.
And you know,
it wasn't real brutal, but it was enough the kid went head first into the boards.
10 years ago they don't call that.
No.
Now you call it every time.
Yeah, you have to. That's when I don't disagree.
Yeah.
You have to call that.
6:59 to play in this first period. No score. Romeo about to go on their first power play.
See if they can keep it in the zone.
Yeah,
They've had a hard time keeping it in this end.
Yeah, they have struggled here early, but credit Sault High. They've just played a good first period so far.
Mm-hmm. Come out flying.
So we'll see if Rafaelle will finally face a shot here, as that penalty will indeed go to Drew Larson. Cross-checking the call. So you could have called about four different ways. So now Romeo on the power play.
2 minutes either way.
Here's Joseph Morris, number 22, one of their dangerous players we talked about earlier. Back to the point. Lindecker fakes the shot. He has Thurston all over him. He dumps it down low. Morris over in the far corner. Now back to the point. Lindecker plays it off the boards behind the net. Minute 25 left on the Bulldogs power play. Still no shots here in this first period. Now taken away. Blue Devils could have a breakaway as that puck was kind of bouncing there. Thurston had a chance to cross the blue line. Just couldn't get control of the puck. Romeo with it. Minute 10 left on the power play. 6:10 to play in this first period. No score. Across the red line, that's Gillum. Now Gillum with the puck for Romeo. Blue Devils have it. Avery Tonight on the end boards. 2 players on him. Now 3. Tonight doing a good job. So we have 55 seconds left on the power play. Bulldogs with it. Still looking for their first shot. Over to McCullough. McCullough with a shot. That's, I believe, a save there by Rafaelle. Now centering chance. That one will go on the near point. Yes, Romeo does get their first shot. So I guess if you're Sault High, you're happy that Rafaelle saw a shot maybe at some point. Now he's in the game a little bit. Alex Gordon with the puck for the Blue Devils. He's just going to fire that down the ice. That'll trickle on the net. Davis will stick it aside. 25 seconds left on the power play for the Bulldogs. Blue Devils doing a good job here shorthanded. Bailey MacArthur with it. In the Romeo zone, he'll play it along the far boards. Pianini will chase that. Finally picked up by the Bulldogs. Now Pianini takes it right away from them. 10 seconds left on the power play.
Great job on the penalty kill.
Absolutely. As that one will be shot down the ice. That could be icing, and it will be. So 5:01 to play in this first period. That'll bring the face-off all the way back in the Romeo zone and pretty much end the power play for the Bulldogs.
You know you're struggling when you ice it on a power play.
Sault High just very impressive here to start this game. You have to put the puck past the goaltender there, Drake Davis, but they're controlling the play so far. Sault High Blue Devil Hockey brought to you by Marchetti Distributing. Your future is promising. Your future is vibrant. Your future is in your hands. Be that person who helps to brighten others' future for Marchetti Distributing, a proud sponsor of Sault High Blue Devil Hockey. As now we have freshman goaltender Logan Rafaelle having a little problem with the pad there, so they're allowing a little extra time while we have a moment. Larry, I knew I was going to do that. I knew I was going to do that, Dan. 5-1.
Name.
Yeah, that's right. 5-1 Alaska over the Lakers late in the second period. Now a shot off the face-off there by Logan Mackey. Saved there by Davis. Looking at a couple of the other out-of-town scores, the Sioux Eagles in Cochrane tonight. They're still trailing the Crunch 2-1 in the second period. And the Sioux Greyhounds, winners of 12 games in a row.
Boy, they look good.
They sure are. At Kingston, we'll get a score here in a moment. Romeo off the face-off, clears it to center. Here's a chance here for Wild. He gets knocked down there by Mackey. Good defense by Logan. Blue Devils with the puck in their own zone along the far side boards. Caden Brown now has it taken away by Slag. Romeo with it. 4:35 to play in this first period. No score. Shots 9-1 Devils. Now quick shot there. That one blocked by Caden Brown as the Blue Devils come up with it. They have some numbers here. Drew Larson across the blue line. He has Jones with him. Larson to the net. A shot. Save there. Larson gets a rebound. Nice. Another chance. A save there by Davis. Sault High with 2 good chances there. And that'll be shot down the ice by the Bulldogs. And boy, Sault High is just having their way with Romeo, but they still haven't put the puck in the net.
I hope it's not one of those games where they outplay and outshoot the other team and don't end up rewarded, because I think their goalie's playing out of his mind.
Yeah,
right
he's
now.
playing very well.
Saves.
Drake Davis, the senior goaltender. Sioux Greyhounds tied with Kingston after 2, 1-1. The Kingston
right?
Frontenacs.
We were there this summer.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Jack had a tryout there.
Face-off won by the Blue Devils. On the near side boards. Alec Armstrong. Now Armstrong dumps it down low. Aiden Armstrong behind the net, taken away there by Evangelista. Blue Devils keep it in. Armstrong with the shot. That is his own player in front. Goes back to center. Chased by Rob Landis. Now puck behind the net. As Romeo just wants to get this period over with at this point.
They're trying to ice it. The Blue Devils are doing good at the blue line, keeping it in.
Now the Blue Devils with it. Armstrong over. Thurston, a shot. Blocker save there. Thurston behind the net. Tries to put it in front, taken away by the Bulldogs. That's Lindecker. He'll clear that one down the ice. And boy, all Romeo can do right now, Dan, is ice the puck.
Yeah, they're going to have to make some kind of adjustments in between periods, although they haven't given up a goal yet. So.
No. 3:26 to play in this first period. No score. Shots 9-1 in favor of the Sault High Blue Devils. Sault High Blue Devil hockey brought to you by Pennzoil 10-minute oil change. Pennzoil motor oil, synthetic oils, transmissions, fluids, and more. Pennzoil 10-minute oil change and Lake Superior car wash on the I-75 Business Spur, open Monday through Saturday. Bulldogs win the face-off, clear to center, now taken right back by the Blue Devils. Smith across the blue line. Kevin Smith puts it in front, hits the side of the net. Goes to McCullough for the Bulldogs. Nice forward check by Kevin Smith. He's on a line right now with Elijah Clow and number 19, Aaron Bumbacco.
Young line right here.
Yes, indeed. Now the Bulldogs with it. Under 3 to play in this fast-moving first period. They're going to ice the puck. And coming up between periods, we'll recap the scoring and look ahead to the second period. And Dan Lasley is going to give us a group-by-group analysis of the World Cup draw, which was earlier today at the Kremlin. Vladimir Putin was there, Dan.
Where?
He was at the World Cup draw. It's going to be in Russia this year.
Probably the only one there.
No, there are lots of people there. Dan's going to give us his group of death and his predictions for the upcoming World Cup. Russia's in the news a lot lately. I don't know if you've noticed that, but now big hit there by number 14, Bradley McCarthy for the Blue Devils off the face-off. Puck still in the Romeo zone. So if you pick this side of the rink to sit on the first period, you pick the right side.
Yes, you did.
Dan, as there has just been probably about 80% of the play has been in the Romeo zone.
More than that.
Yeah, 2:30 to play in the first period.
Still have fresh ice on the other end.
Yeah, exactly. No score. Shots 9-1 in favor of the Blue Devils. Now Romeo with the puck. Shot in by the Blue Devils. Logan Mackey goes along the near sideboards. Now the Bulldogs. Only one shot here, and that was on the power play. As they'll take it across the blue line. Nice hit again by Basil Moran. Sault High really using the physical play here in this first period, Dan.
Yeah, and they're not bigger than Romeo.
No, they're not.
They're playing like they are.
They really are. They're fired up. Now here's a chance. And this could be another, Sault High has played Tuesday night. Romeo hasn't played in a couple weeks, so maybe they're having a little, still maybe some Thanksgiving hangover at this point. Now shot in, gloved away by Rafaelle, taken by the Blue Devils at center ice. Here's Thurston. Thurston across the blue line. Thurston, nice move around number 17, Gillum. Now Thurston avoids the hit. Thurston still has it. Along the side of the net, taken there by Brown. Caden Brown with the puck. Back to the point. Quick shot. That one hits a player in front as Romeo comes up with it. Somehow they got 3 shots all of a sudden.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, really. Here's Landis across the blue line. Gloved down there by Davis, and he'll hold with 1:16 to play in the first period.
Sioux's doing a good job getting shots to the net, but I think if they're going to score on this guy, they're going to have to get somebody in front to cause some interference there, because everything this guy sees, he's stopping. Yeah,
Davis is looking very strong here in this first period, the senior goaltender, as he's played both games so far this year. 2-0, his goals against average 3, the save percentage of .902. Now a quick shot there off the face-off, saved by Davis. He'll hold 1:10 to play in this first period. Shots now 11-3 in favor of the Blue Devils. Sault High will be on the road next weekend in Gaylord for the D3 Challenge. We'll get to that schedule here in a moment. Now the Blue Devils off the face-off, put it in the slot, taken away by the Bulldogs. Sault High at center ice, shoots it back in. Now at center ice, Rob Landis dumps it into the Bulldog zone. And shot down the ice, and it's kind of, you can almost say it's a positive for both teams. Sault High's got to be happy with their play, but Romeo's got to be happy they're not down 2-3-0 at this point.
Exactly.
Now here's the Blue Devils with it. Drew Larson across the blue line. Larson behind the net. Drew Larson now on the far side boards. Larson puts it over to Ben Jones with a shot. That trickles wide. Now here's Caden Brown. Gets it to Jones. Jones shot. Tough angle. Saved there by Davis. Now puck goes to the far point. Kept in by Gordon. 15 seconds to play in this first period. Blue Devils with the puck. Now Romeo with it. Oh, they put it in front of their own net. We saw that happen last night with Edmonton there. That guy put it in his own net. With 5 seconds to play in the first period, Sault High with maybe one last chance at the buzzer. And so the Blue Devils dominate the period, but we are scoreless after one. We'll take a break and be back with our first intermission report here on your home for the Sault High Blue Devil hockey team, Eagle 95.1. Welcome back to Sault High Hockey on Eagle 95.1. Scott Nason along with Dan Lasley back at the Big Bear Arena. And Dan, after one period of play, it was a period where the Sault High Blue Devils dominated play. They outshoot Romeo by the count of 11-3, but no score after one. Thoughts on the first period?
Oh, I thought it was a good period for Sault High. I mean, they didn't score, but they dominated play, like you said, and that's a great start. If you're the coaching staff, I think you have to be happy with that. I think you'd be happier, of course, if they scored, but their goalie's playing really good. So if you keep up this play, it's going to go in eventually.
Yeah, and you look at from a Sault High perspective, you try to find any negatives in that first period. I guess you didn't capitalize on the opportunities you had, but you had some good shots. Yeah. It was a physical game. Your defense really didn't even allow the puck in your own zone. I mean, if you're Coach Ferroni, what are you saying at the end of one period?
One power or one penalty, stay out of the box. That kind of hurt him the last couple games. So I'm not sure what John's going to say. Get more pucks to the net, cause more, and go for rebounds. Yeah,
and if you're Coach Batter for the Romeo Bulldogs, I mean, you're probably saying a lot right now, but you have to be happy that there's no score. I mean, again, both teams can be happy on that regard that there's no score. Of course, Sault High would like to have a few more scores on the board because they had more chances. But if you're Romeo, you'd be like, you know what, guys? We probably can't play a worse period than we did, but we're still 0-0.
Yeah, they had problems breaking out. They couldn't connect on any passes. They lost 90% of their face-offs. I mean, there's just the list goes on and on. Just throw that period out the window. Start fresh this period.
Earlier tonight, we had our first game of the CVB Showcase here at the Big Bear Arena as the Marquette Redmen fell to Eisenhower by the score of 7-5. Now tomorrow, Eisenhower will take on the Sault High Blue Devils here at the Big Bear. We'll have the call of that one. Tim Ellis, I should say, will have the call of that one tomorrow afternoon around 3 o'clock. And in the first game, you will have Marquette take on this Romeo Bulldogs team. And Dan, lots going on tomorrow as far as local sports going on at Lake Superior State. You have the men's and women's basketball games going on against Tiffin. Our own broadcast engineer, Lance Monroe, part of that very good men's team that will be taking on Tiffin at 3 o'clock. You have the women taking on Tiffin at 1. You have the Laker hockey team taking on Alaska at 7. And you have the Sioux Indians taking on Little Caesars at 3. So if you cannot complain about not having anything to do as far as sports tomorrow. Locked and loaded around these parts.
Yeah, pick and choose where you want to go. Every rink has something going tomorrow.
Speaking of the Lakers, they're in action right now taking on Alaska. They did get one goal late in that second period, but they still trail by the score of 5-2. Other games going on in the WCHA Ferris after 2 periods of play, leading Alaska Anchorage by the score of 2-0. Northern Michigan after 2 leading Alabama Huntsville by a 2-1 count. And Bemidji State and Bowling Green scoreless, that one in the second period. Sioux Eagles on the road, part of a 3-game road trip. They defeated Hearst last night by the score of 5-3. They're currently in action in Cochrane, taking on the Cochrane Crunch. And that one halfway through the second period, Cochrane with a 3-1 lead. Other games in the NLJHL, Hearst over Timmins 3-1. That one in the third period, and Kirkland Lake leading French River 2-1. That one late in the second period. The Sioux Greyhounds, winners of 12 in a row. They're on the road at Kingston taking on the Frontenacs, and that one early third period. A 2-2 tie between the Hounds and Kingston. Other games in the OHL tonight, Hamilton after 2 tied with Flint by the score of 3-3. North Bay leading Sarnia by the score of 2-1. That good news for Greyhounds fans, as Sarnia, the team right up with the Hounds this year. Sudbury after 2 leading Mississauga by 4-1 count. Guelph over Erie 3-2. That one in the second period. Tons of games in the OHL tonight. Owen Sound and Kitchener tied at 2 in the second period, and Oshawa leading the London Knights by the score of 3-1. That one also in the second period. Now, Dan, I know you're ready for this. You want to hear NBA scores because you know NBA action is absolutely fantastic. The Pistons losing in the third quarter to Washington by a score of 79-67, and the Toronto Raptors leading Indiana 65-58 at half.
Wow, I'm glad
you were waiting for those. Yeah. I know. We're gonna
my seat.
We're gonna take a break here in our first intermission report. When Dan and I come back, we'll preview the second period and have the action on your home for the Sault High Blue Devil hockey team, Eagle 95.1. Scott Nason back at the Big Bear Arena in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, as we are just about to start the second period. No score between the Sault High Blue Devils and the Romeo Bulldogs. Our broadcast engineer tonight, Lance Monroe, joined once again by color commentator Dan Lasley as well. The Sault High Blue Devils, Dan, dominate that first period, outshoot Romeo by the score of 11, or by the total rather of 11-3. But we're scoreless, so if you're Sault High, you want to keep doing what you're doing in that first period. Eventually, you're going to get one of these pucks, you hope, and pass their senior goaltender.
Yep, did everything right but score.
Sault High, as I mentioned, Dan, will be on the road next weekend at the D3 Classic, I believe it's called. D3 Challenge, thank you. As next Friday, December 8th, an early game, 10 a.m., as Sault High will take on Dearborn Divine Child. And then on Saturday, December 9th, 4 p.m., Sault High will take on Grosse Isle. You've been down to that D3 showcase. These are teams that many of them end up in Plymouth for D3 for the state finals, don't they?
Yeah, it's usually the playoff caliber teams that are there. Sault High wasn't there for a few years. I think it was by choice from the coaching staff, but they got invited, of course, back, and they accepted. But there was the years like when my son and a few of the other years there, they weren't invited or they didn't go. They had other. I think that's the year they went up to the Copper Country.
Right.
To the McGinnis or something, not McGinnis, but one of those tournaments. But it's a good tournament.
So here we go. Sault High and Romeo set to start period 2. Sault High will be going left to right as seen on your radio dial. Devils dominate that first period, but we're still scoreless here at the Big Bear. Now puck shot into the Romeo end of the ice. Evangelista will wrap it hard off the boards.
Oh.
There's a big hit there. And
clean hit. It was
clean hit. Good one. Shot there. Blocker saved by Davis. Sault High really being physical here in this game so far.
It's good to see.
Absolutely. Now puck in the near corner. Romeo looking for a better first period than they had. Better period, I should say, than they had in the first.
It's not starting out that way.
No, it's not. Sault High with the puck.
Oh.
And shot down the ice. Trickled down the ice. No icing. Rafaelle sticks that to Mackey. Now behind the net. Basil Moran, pass on the near side boards to Thurston at center ice. Thurston has Armstrong with him. Thurston really stick handling well tonight. Thurston with the puck. Now centering chance. Just over the stick of Armstrong. Now the player falls down for the Blue Devils. Here's the Romeo team with the chance. Nice back check there by Thurston. He's looked good, I think, tonight.
Yeah, he's got his wheels on.
Sure does. Now puck at center ice off the stick of Aiden Armstrong. Alec Armstrong with it. Clearly they get their hockey talents from their mom.
Yeah.
Say that because Andy's not even paying attention to me.
Yes, he is.
Now here's Aiden Armstrong across the blue line. His shot, that
deflected.
Goes out of play. Deflected, so we'll have a face-off in the Romeo end with 15:31 to play in the second period.
Yeah, it's nice to see the Sioux being physical due to the fact that they're most of these, I mean, there's like, 5-6 kids that are actually Bantams.
Yeah.
They're Bantam age.
Right.
And they don't look out of place out here at all.
Not at all, yeah. This is a very young Sault High team.
They're small, but they're not afraid. They're fearless.
Face-off won by the Blue Devils, shot by Gordon, saved by Davis. Now Sault High. Puck over in the far corner, rather. We're going to have a high stick. That'll keep the face-off, I believe, in the Romeo. No, that'll bring it out because that was on Sault High.
Mm-hmm. But again, good pressure put on by this line.
Tim Ellis will have tomorrow afternoon's game as the Blue Devils will take on Eisenhower. That one at 3 o'clock. Tim will have the pregame show around 2:45. The final home game for 2017. As Sault High will be in a couple other road contests. We'll get to the schedule here as we move along.
Yeah, Eisenhower, they're ranked 6th in Division 1.
Which is that Utica, Eisenhower?
Utica.
It is Utica, okay. Now Romeo with the puck in the Sault High end, trying to get some pressure on freshman goaltender Logan Rafaelle. Not had any really good scoring opportunities here tonight so far. Now puck behind the Romeo end as one of the Romeo players falls down along the far side board. Stolen by the Blue Devils. Now poke checked away by Romeo. Bulldogs. Yeah, cleared to center. Taken there by Refushinski. Pass over to Gordon. Now Gordon goes off his own player. Refushinski with it. Refushinski off the boards. Gets it to Larson. Now Larson with it. Shot. Blocker save. Just goes wide there.
Nice pass.
Yeah. Now Gordon moves the puck for the Blue Devils. Puck over on the far boards. Kept in just by the Blue Devils. Almost thought that went over the line. Now Caden Brown over to Jones on the near side boards. Sault High still controlling play in the second period. They've controlled it throughout this game. Caden Brown behind the net. Now taken by Larson. Larson tries to put it in front. Now a shot.
Ooh.
Davis makes the save. With 13:54 to play in the second period, still no score.
More of the same that we saw in the first period. The ice is definitely tilted.
Boy, it sure is. Sault High Blue Devil Hockey brought to you by Arfstrom Pharmacy, your health mart caring for you and about you. And also brought to you by Elite Sports Center, your #1 dealer, whatever your outdoor addictions. Elite Sports Center specializes in Hondas, ATVs, motorcycles, generators with thousands of accessories in stock, located on the I-75 Business Spur. Off the face-off, the Blue Devils shoot it back into the Bulldog zone. Scoreless here at 13:40 to play in the second period. Puck along the end boards. Sault High has it. Kevin Smith being held up there by Milana. Now the Blue Devils come up with it in front. Poke checked away back to the point. A shot goes wide by Tonight. Over along the far boards, Landis, his shot goes wide. Sault High just all over the Bulldogs right now.
Yeah.
Kept in by Tonight. Behind the net to Smith. Now over along the far boards. Rob Landis plays it on the near side. Now picked up by Milana for the Bulldogs. He's just going to wrap it hard off the glass.
Just getting the puck out of there.
Yeah, and that'll go out of play. And it has just not been the Bulldogs' night here, but they're still scoreless. 13:06 to play in the second period. Starting the third period at the Taffy Able Arena. Alaska still leading the Lakers by a 5-2 count. Sioux Eagles now have tied up Cochrane after 3-3, so another comeback for the Eagles. Up north. Good time to go up there.
Yeah,
No snow. That
offside.
one should be offside as the player was in quite a bit ahead of the puck.
Yeah, I don't think you want to be up there next week when that big front comes
No,
through.
no. It's a good time to be in Cochrane, Hearst, and area. Sioux Greyhounds still tied with Kingston 2-2. That one with about 6 minutes to play in the third period. The Sioux Greyhounds, winners of 12 in a row. Face off outside the blue line. Sault High and Romeo scoreless here in the second period. It's just under 13 minutes to play in this second period. Now wrapped along the near board. Sault High has it. Good crowd here at the Big Bear. Dan?
Yeah, nice crowd.
Some good teams playing here this weekend. Good early season high school hockey.
Yeah, you had Marquette in the game prior. They're ranked like 6th or 8th in Division 2.
Yeah.
They brought a busload down.
Now here's the Blue Devils with the puck, cleared to center. Evangelista off the boards. Now taken by the Blue Devils, Thurston. Thurston, nice stick handling. Thurston in, shot, off the post.
Oh, yeah,
Thurston
that far
had the
corner.
goaltender beat, but he wraps it off the post. Matthew Thurston has been impressive on the offensive end tonight.
Yeah, he's played well and he's back checked well.
Yeah, he has.
Playing both ends.
Now here's the Romeo team with the chance. Wild with it. Backhand shot. That goes over the net. Good back check there by Logan Mackey. Now back and forth action. A little end-to-end action. We haven't seen much of that so far. Here's Thurston. That's going to be offside as Aiden Armstrong kind of got hung up there on the blue line. That'll bring the face-off outside the Romeo blue line with 11:54 to play in the second period. Still no score.
Yeah, that line right there has had a lot of opportunities, and Thurston hit the pipe there.
Yeah, clearly had
Close.
Davis beat.
They're getting closer.
Yes, they are. Face-off won by the Blue Devils. They're doing a good job on those, as that one will go off a player off the bench. Sault High Blue Devil hockey brought to you by O'Connor's in Pickford. Check out their full line of Dodge, truck, Ram, and Jeep vehicles. Don't forget we have our sports show, The Game, every Monday night from the Wicked Sister on Ashman Street this Monday at 6 o'clock. Yours truly, along with Dave McKegg, E.J. Russell, Butch Davis, and our special guest will be Matt Bathy, head coach of the Brindley Bays boys basketball team, as the Bays will start their season this week.
That young man made me a sub the other day.
Oh, very good. Good
Yeah.
food out there. Now, quick shot
great
and a
food.
save there by Rafaelle as he'll hold.
I didn't know who he was or whatever, and I mentioned you, and he started talking.
Oh, yeah.
Started talking basketball. He's got a good team coming back this year.
We're going to be starting our coverage of the Bays next week. Actually, we have 3 games on our airwaves. We'll start Tuesday night with the girls at home against Alanson. And then on Thursday, the boys will be at Cedarville. And then Friday night, we'll have the girls at home against Cedarville. So getting ready, getting strapped up for the basketball season indeed. Now a chance in front from Romeo. Poke checked away by the Blue Devils. Now another chance as
nice
Rafaelle got his stick on the puck. Poke checking that away. Romeo with some pressure. They haven't had much so far. Their best pressure of the night so far right now. Here's Wild.
4 shots on goal. That's all they've had for the game.
Here come the Blue Devils with the puck. Alex Gordon across the blue line, had it poke checked away by McCullough. Now puck at center ice. Knocked down Wild. Here comes Jones. Jones across the blue line. Jones trying to get around the defenseman. He doesn't. Now puck over in the far boards. Another big hit there. This one by Alex Gordon. Now a chance in front of Shed. Oh, and he missed the net. That was Caden Brown who was open in the slot. Sault High with some good scoring chances here in the second period. Now here's Brown again with it. Behind the net, Caden Brown. Over in the far point. Now back to the point. Shot saved there by Davis. Sault High with some good pressure here. Blue Devils have it. Drew Larson behind the net.
Yeah, this line isn't particularly physically big, but they're putting on a lot of pressure.
Yeah, absolutely, as Brown has it for the Blue Devils. Back to the point. Nice pass. Vinci's shot and a save there by Davis, and he'll hold with 10:18 to play in the second period. Sault High buzzing.
Yeah, they had puck possession in that on that shift, almost the whole shift. And it looks like who's going to the locker room here?
Yeah, it looks like number 9, Caden Brown, going to the dressing room here.
Must be an equipment issue because he didn't look like he was in any pain or difficulty there. He was walking good.
Face off to the left of Davis. A quick shot by Thurston up high. Saved by Davis. So out shooting Romeo 15-4 right now. Now puck behind the net.
And
Bulldogs have it. Along the far boards.
Nice pinch.
So I really forechecking well tonight. They're doing pretty much everything well tonight.
Yeah, they're blanketing Romeo on their forecheck here. They can't make an exit pass, get out of the zone. They're just got to ice it.
Now the Blue Devils with it behind the net. MacArthur over in the far boards. Pressured by Citro. MacArthur still has it. Trying to get some help. He's held up. Only one penalty in this game. That one on Sault High. Back to the point. Landis shot blocked. Kept in by the Blue Devils. Along the near side boards. Gillum for the Bulldogs. Now Romeo comes up with it. Trying to clear the zone. They've had trouble doing that all night. Kept in by the Blue Devils. Here's Panini. Over along the far boards to Thurston. Thurston trying to get around the player. Now picked up by the Bulldogs. They'll just flip it to center. Puck taken by the Blue Devils. Avery tonight. At center ice. Now trickling down the ice. Chased down by Citro for Romeo. 9 minutes to play in the second period. Still scoreless. Sault High definitely with the edge in play here throughout this game.
The Thurston line's back on. They come close to scoring the last 2 shifts they were on.
Now the puck trickles back into the Blue Devils zone. Romeo at center ice with the puck, trying to find some offense here. Now shot back into the Bulldog zone. Romeo will clear it to center. Taken there by Rahal. Now along the near side boards, chased down by Tonique. One of the captains of the Blue Devils will shoot it in. On the end boards, now taken by Smith, Kevin Smith. Back to the point, Mackey. Mackey down to Smith behind the net. Smith slides it over. Bumbacco now behind the net to Smith. Smith with the move. Another move. on the far boards. Looks like a power play for the Blue Devils.
Well, Romeo is not taking the body anywhere on the ice, and the Blue Devils are doing whatever they want.
Bumbacco over to Clow. Now Clow loses the puck. Picked right back up by the Blue Devils' Bumbacco.
It's almost like our 40 and over league.
Yes, indeed. Now here's a chance behind the net. Centering for the Blue Devils. Now Mackey at the point. His shot goes wide.
Yeah, Bumbacco right on the back door.
Blue Devils still controlling play here in the Bulldog zone. Elijah Clow now behind the net to Bumbacco. Centering chance, a shot, and a goal! Kevin Smith gives the Sault High Blue Devils a 1-0 lead with 7:34 to play in the second period. You knew it was coming, Dan. You knew it was coming.
I picked him as my player at the beginning of the game.
On the air, or it's just in your head?
No, I told you. I said I like the kid.
So Kevin Smith will get the goal for the Blue Devils, and they have a 1-0 lead. Shot 16-4 in favor of Sault High. And we'll get the call from Bob St. Peter. But that goal will definitely go to Kevin Smith, and I believe was it Bumbacco who had the initial pass? We'll get it right now. So Smith does get the goal. Not to be confused with the movie director. Yeah, so they do give the...
It was bound to happen. They were buzzing the whole shift. So actually, every line has been buzzing around.
Really has, yeah. 7:24 the time of the goal. Blue Devils lead 1-0.
Yeah, we got a penalty.
We're going to have a penalty, and I think this is going to go on Sault High,
yes,
Dan?
It is, yeah, a little hook. This is the downfall right here. They got to stay out of the box.
So Ben Jones will go to the box for the Sault High Blue Devils as they lead by the score of 1-0. 7:09 to play in this second period.
But last time Romeo had a power play, it looked like the Blue Devils had the power play, so we'll see what happens.
Your first intermission report heard earlier was brought to you by War Memorial Hospital. The right care is right here. So face off inside the Blue Devil zone, rather. So hooking the call on Jones. Romeo on their second power play. Bulldogs have it. McCullough back to the point, Gillum. Gillum with a shot. That just goes wide along the near boards to Lindecker. Lindecker will wrap that off the boards. So I killed off the only power play of the game in the first period for the Bulldogs. This is their second opportunity. Now pass along the near side point. Lindecker. That one deflected out of play by Riffersinski, and that'll keep the face-off in the Blue Devils zone.
That was a good job right there, getting his stick in the passing lane, deflecting the puck out of play. It's perfect.
Still 5-2 Alaska over the Lakers. That one in the third period.
5-2?
Yep, 5-2. 30 seconds left in Kingston. The Greyhounds in Kingston tied at 2.
Beautiful place.
Looking to go to overtime. Yeah, nice little arena there.
Oh, nice town, nice arena.
Eagles and Cochrane tied at 3 entering the third period. Some of the other hockey action going on. So that puck gets shot back into the Bulldog zone. Romeo with the puck. 1:15 left on their second power play of the night. The Blue Devils lead 1-0 on the goal by Kevin Smith a couple minutes ago. Now the Blue Devils. Great forecheck. As number 10, Drew Larson, drawing 3 players on him. Now picked up by Caden Brown. Sault High just having their way with Romeo right now. Back to tonight. They'll shoot it in. 50 seconds left on the Bulldogs power play. Still only have 4 shots. We have 6 minutes to play in the second period. If you're a defensive coach, you got to be loving those stats. If you're Sault High, mind you.
Well, I keep looking over at their coach, and he's not very happy.
It's going to be an offside there. There's a shot after the whistle. It's kind of a late whistle on that one. So they'll bring the face off. Yeah, he's a coach for the Romeo team, and Nicholas Batter. Not real thrilled with how things have gone.
Oh, he's losing.
Very well-dressed coaching staff, I might add, Dan. Look at these GQ and nothing on these guys.
But if you watch him, he keeps pulling his tie loose, and then he's tightening it up. Gets mad. Yeah.
I do the same thing sometimes, Dan.
I don't wear a tie.
Not broadcasting, mind you. That one shot down the ice. Davis has to make the save. 2 Sault High players on him. He's got to be careful as he slides it over to Ganfield. Slag with the puck. 15 seconds left on the power play.
Former Sioux kid right here playing against some of his old teammates.
Michael Slag, the sophomore for the Bulldogs. Still a little time left on the power play. Now Slag goes to the net in the slot. Poke checked away. Puck still loose. And the Blue Devils will come up with it and shot hard down the ice. And that'll do it for the power play.
Another good penalty kill.
Absolutely. 5 minutes to play in the second period. The Blue Devils with a 1-0 lead. Puck at center ice taken by Wild. cleared into the Blue Devil zone. Now Mackey will shoot it back to center. Ben Jones with the puck. Passes it over to Moran. Basil Moran across the blue line. Gloved down by the Romeo defenseman and shot down the ice. Chasing it is Logan Mackey. Shot 16-5 in favor of Sault High.
Ooh.
Now a bad pass intercepted there by Wild. They'll slide over the far boards. Picked up there by, is that number 10? I don't have a number 10 on my roster for Romeo. I'm not quite sure who that is. Is it 10 or is it 19? Might be 19.
He's got his jersey tucked, so you can't tell.
Yeah, it is
like
19. Yep. Now Giza with the slash
nice
there.
Thurston.
Here's Thurston again with that great stick handling skills. Thurston with it. Thurston. Poke checked away. Now a centering chance. Back to the point. Picked up by Moran. He'll wrap it off the boards to Thurston. Now Thurston centers it. Taken away by the Bulldogs. Here's Logan, check that. That's Wild. He'll clear it in. Now Logan Mackey has it. Under 4 to play in this second period. Coming up, we'll have our second intermission, sponsored by Bay Mills Community College. Puck over in the far corner. The Blue Devils zone. Romeo looking for some offense here tonight.
Yeah.
And that one takes a weird deflection off the boards all the way down into the Romeo zone. Chased by Evangelista. He's hit hard by Alec Armstrong. Now a chance for the Blue Devils. Gloved down by the Bulldogs. At center ice, Lindecker across the blue line. Lindecker with the puck. Now the Bulldogs with some pressure at the point, winding and firing. Big save, Rafaelle. Another save by Rafaelle. 2 big saves, his best 2 of the night by far.
Yeah, he hasn't seen much of the puck.
No.
He saw it there twice.
Gillum had a great shot from the point. Lindecker on the rebound. Now back at the point. Romeo with some pressure. Shot. That deflects behind the net. Picked up by Giza. Now over in the far corner. Under 3 to play in the second period. Quick shot. That one deflects wide. Romeo with their best pressure of the night by far.
Yeah, that was a good shift for them.
Now at center ice. Romeo has it. Again, they're only trailed by 1. Definitely not out of this game by any stretch.
Well, they're getting outplayed, outshot, but it's only 1-0.
Yep,
that's the scary part.
That's you're right. Now Moran with it. Basil Moran can't clear the zone. Now Moran will try it again. He's going to shoot it harder. This one goes to Thurston across the blue line. Thurston trying to get the puck. Was bouncing around, but Evangelista got it out of harm's way. Now here come the Blue Devils. Clow with it behind the net. Clow over to Bumbacco. Bumbacco lost the puck. Taken there by Milana. As here come the Bulldogs. They have a chance here. That's Wild across the blue line. Nice back check there by the Blue Devils. Preventing a possible 2-on-1. 2 minutes to play in the second period. Here come the Blue Devils. Clow across the blue line. He's got Bumbacco with them. Clow with the puck. Clow centering chance. That will go over along the far boards.
Good idea.
Yeah, absolutely. Now shot down the ice, and that will be no icing. That's puck behind the net. Now here's a chance. Bulldog shot. Bouncing puck goes wide. Minute 30 to play in this first period. Sault High with the 1-0 lead. Now a chance. Shot. Rafaelle with the save. As number 20, Alex Lindecker, had a decent scoring opportunity. All of a sudden, shots 16-8 in favor of the Blue Devils. They lead 1-0 with 1:27 to play in this second period.
They're still getting badly outplayed, though.
Yeah, they really are.
The Sioux could use another goal. I mean, I'm sure that's going to be emphasized in between periods here. You can't sit back on a 1-goal lead. All it takes is a fluke.
That's right.
Puck to the net.
Greyhounds and Kingston in overtime, Dan, in Kingston. We'll probably get a final on that one here in our second intermission. Now puck shot back in by McCullough.
Home of the original Hockey Hall of Fame.
Kingston?
Birthplace of hockey.
Oh,
you didn't know that?
I didn't know that. I learned something new.
That's where Don Cherry's
I thought it was Las Vegas.
No.
Oh, wait, that's the expansion team.
Yeah.
Never mind.
That's Don Cherry's hometown.
Oh, yeah. Now a collision at center ice. Here come the Blue Devils. They got a 4-on-2. Sault High with the puck. Larson shot. Oh, it goes off the side of the post. Good chance for the Blue Devils. They have it again. Another shot. That one's hit somebody in front. Now another chance. Davis with the save. Puck goes behind the net. Sault High buzzing here. Aiden Armstrong over along the far boards. He dumps it down low. Brown with it. Nice spin move. 40 seconds to play in the second period. Brown with the puck.
Romeo just won't hit anybody.
No, they won't. You're right. Now the Bulldogs with it at center ice. Blue Devils, the 1-0 lead. Under 30 seconds to play here in this second period. Sault High with the puck. Caden Brown, centering chance. That one deflected. Kept in there by Tonight. Nice forecheck. Aiden Armstrong dumps it down low. Here's Brown. Brown slides it over. Oh, it goes off the stick of Landis. And that'll probably do it here for the second period. Puck in the Blue Devils' end. And so Sault High will score the only goal in that second period as Kevin Smith with an assist from Aaron Bumbacco at the 7:24 mark of the second period. And that's where we sit right now heading into the second intermission. Sault High leading Romeo by the score of 1-0. We'll be back with our second intermission here from the Big Bear on your home for the Sault High Blue Devil hockey team, Eagle 95.1. Scott Nason back at the Big Bear Arena in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. Our broadcast engineer tonight, Lance Monroe, joined once again by color commentator Dan Lasley, who I turned his mic back on after that intermission, as we are in our Bay Mills Community College second intermission, committed to providing affordable, culturally relevant, high-quality education. Find out more at bmcc.edu. Well, Dan, Sault High, they've been pretty dominant. I would say not pretty dominant. They've been very dominant here in this game. They lead by the score of 1-0 as Kevin Smith scored the only goal of that second period at the 7:24 mark with an assist from Aaron Bumbacco. Shots on goal right now, 16-8 in favor of the Blue Devils. They only get 5 shots in that second period as the shots were 5-5, but your thoughts on the second period in the game as a whole?
Well, they only got 5 shots, but they still dominated play most of that period. As I mentioned during the broadcast, you watch this Romeo team, they're not hitting it.
They're not. You called it.
And that's giving the smaller, size-wise, Blue Devil players all the advantage. I mean, the little guys are hitting, and the big guys, they're down. Their team's just not physical at all.
Right,
and that's allowing Sault High just to dominate play.
Yeah, and Sault High's come out with the jump here at the start of the game and in the second period. And I wouldn't go as far to say Sault High wants it more, but if you look at the play on the ice, it looks like they do.
Yeah, well, they're being aggressive all over the ice. I mean, look at their penalty kill. They've killed 2 penalties, and I think Sault High has had more scoring chances than Romeo has on Romeo's penalty or power play.
The earlier game tonight, Dan, had Utica Eisenhower taking on Marquette. Marquette was trailing 6-2 in the third period. They score 3 goals, cut it to 1, and then they would end up falling by the score of 7-5. And Marquette will take on this Romeo team tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock here at the Big Bear Arena. We'll have the call of the Blue Devil game as Sault High will take on Utica Eisenhower at 3. Tim Ellis will have the call of that one.
That Romeo better be a little more physical tomorrow because Marquette will hit you, and they have some big boys on that team.
Yeah, let's look at the out-of-town scoreboard, Dan. Lots going on in the world of hockey at the Taffy Able Arena. Alaska still leading the Lakers, now by a 5-3 count. That one has about 7 minutes to play in the third period, so we will have a final in that one before we go off the air. Ferris State, they're going to win that game against Alaska Anchorage as they lead 2-0 late in the third period. Northern Michigan looks like they're going to beat Alabama Huntsville as they lead by the score of 3-1. And Bowling Green, after 2 periods of play at home, leading Bemidji State by the score of 1-0. The Ontario Hockey League, the Greyhounds have won again.
Wow,
they win in overtime by the score of 3-2. As now the Hounds have won 13 games in a row. Connor Timmons scores the game-winning goal in overtime as the Hounds, the king of overtimes this year, as they are 22-3-2 on the season. Other games in the Ontario Hockey League in Flint, Hamilton and the Flint Firebirds tied at 3. Sarnia has lost. Good news for Greyhounds fans as they lose to North Bay at home by the score of 3-2. Sudbury leading Mississauga by the score of 5-2. That one in the third period. Guelph over Erie 4-2 in the third period. After 2 in Kitchener, Owen Sound with a 3-2 lead over the Rangers, and Oshawa doubling up London 4-2 after 2 periods of play. In the Northern Ontario Junior Hockey League, the Sioux Eagles have tied Cochrane at 3 goals apiece. That one early third period. Hearst defeats Timmins tonight by the score of 4-2, and Kirkland Lake leading at French River by the score of 2-1 in the third period. And Dan, I know you're on the edge of your seat for the NBA scores, and somehow my update machine is not working. Detroit has lost by the score of 109-91 to the Washington Wizards. I know you're broken up over that, but the Raptors, Dan, they're leading Indiana by the score of 103-97. And I will say this, NBA action, it's fantastic.
Pterodactyls?
The pterodactyls. And well, we'll talk about all these sports and more Monday night as our sports show, The Game, is broadcast from the Wicked Sister on Ashman Street. Now, it's on Monday nights from 6 to 7 o'clock. Now, it's a full 2-hour show. We do the first hour on the radio where we talk local sports. We mix in some regional sports. But the full 2-hour show looks at the world of sports in general, where we talk about all sorts of things. And, Dan, coming up tomorrow, we have a lot of college football to talk about as the conference championships are going on.
Some big games.
Big Ten, Wisconsin, Ohio State. You have the SEC, Auburn taking on Georgia. Oklahoma takes on TCU in the Big 12, and Clemson against Miami in the ACC championship. Who do you like?
Wait a minute. Didn't Ohio State win it all already?
No, well, you would think that.
Oh, yeah.
You would think that by
fans.
the.
I'm going for Wisconsin.
I'd like to see them win.
I like Auburn. I've seen a couple of their games.
They're good.
Who's the one?
Clemson, Miami.
Is your Alabama team got a chance?
No.
Have a chance?
No, Alabama's. They should.
I watched Miami and Notre Dame, and then I watched Miami and Pittsburgh. And it was two different teams.
Yeah.
Two totally different teams. And I don't like Miami anyway, so whoever they're playing,
the chain and the turnover. Come on.
I can't get into the conversation I want to, but
no. But you could if
Yeah.
you came down to the Wicked Sister on Monday night,
you know
Dan.
What? I listen to your show.
We appreciate it.
Have to go down there one of these nights and have a little bite to eat because they have good food there.
They do. We'll even put you on the air if you want.
I don't know if you want to do that.
Well, we do tonight, so we appreciate you joining us. We're going to take our final break in our second intermission report. When Dan and I come back, we'll have the start of the third period here at the Big Bear Arena between the Sault High Blue Devils and the Romeo Bulldogs. Sault High leading after 2 by the score of 1-0. You are listening to Sault High Blue Devil Hockey on your home for the Blue Devils, Eagle 95.1. Scott Nason, Dan Lasley back at the Big Bear Arena in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, as we are just about to start the third period of play between the Sault High Blue Devils and the Romeo Bulldogs. Recapping the scoring in that second period, Kevin Smith scored the only goal of the period, the only goal of the game so far, with an assist from Aaron Bumbacco at the 7:24 mark, as Sault High leads by the score of 1-0. Shots on goal in that second period, 5 apiece, 16-8 in favor of the Blue Devils. Romeo has had 2 power plays on the night, 0-4-2, and Dan, we were talking just before we came back on the air. It's still just 1-0, despite the fact that the Blue Devils have really dominated this game in every aspect, and as a Sault High coach and a Sault High fan, that's a little kind of concerning right now, isn't it?
Yeah, you'd definitely like to have another goal. One goal, like I say, one bad bounce, one shot dumped in on net that bounces the wrong way and goes in, and all of a sudden you're tied. So I'm sure the coaching staff has brought that to their attention. More pucks to the net, go hard, and let's get this next goal.
Absolutely. Want to say hello to our good friend Jim Lee Hockey, who is here filming for 9 and 10 Sports. We'll have the highlights of this game and the Laker game tonight from Jim, and Mitchell was also there. And speaking of the Lakers, looks like they're going to lose as they are down 5-3 to Alaska with mere seconds left in that one. So the Lakers could find themselves in 10th place before tonight's over. As a couple other teams that are behind them, well, Alaska was 1, but Bemidji State has just tied Bowling Green at 1, so they're behind them. So Lakers definitely going to need some points tomorrow. Blue Devils, they're going to need to hang on to this 1-0 lead as we are just about to start this third period underway. As the Bulldogs win the face-off, Blue Devils will be going right to left as seen on your radio dial. Sault High with the puck. At center ice, Alec Armstrong across the blue line. Now at center ice, here's Gillum for the Bulldogs. Gillum with the shot, that one blocked. Bulldogs with the puck, back to the point. Evangelista's shot, that goes behind the net. On the near boards, taken there by Rahal. Centering chance. As Bulldogs had some good scoring opportunities in that second period. Obviously a lot more than they did in the first one. They only got 3 shots, and I don't know if they really had even 3. Now we're going to have a high sticking call that's going to go against Romeo, so the Blue Devils will go on their first power play. And as Sault High with the puck, they will pull their goaltender, and that'll stop the play with the touch up by the Bulldogs as Sault High will get their first power play, Dan. 16:09 to play here in this third period.
This would be a good time right here to bury the second goal of the game.
Absolutely. The Sault High power play brought to you by H&R Block Tax Services. It's Emerald Advance Time. Call your locally owned H&R Block office to schedule your appointment today. So Sault High on their first power play with 16:09 to play in this third period. Blue Devils with a 1-0 lead. The penalty on number 20, Alex Lindecker, hooking the call. And I will say the sound system has dramatically improved in here, Dan. Used to be hard to pick up Bob on the PA, but boy, they've made some good changes in here. Now the Blue Devils with the puck. That or maybe my hearing's better.
No, and I believe they got a new mic.
Now a shot there and a save by Davis. He's really keeping the Bulldogs in this game so far. Now back to the point. Blue Devils with the power play. Gordon with it. On the near board. Dumps it behind the net. Sault High. It's Caden Brown. Plays it over to Tanaik. Tanaik at the point. Far boards to Jones. Back to Tanaik. Back to Jones. Jones centering chance off the skate of the Blue Devil player, and Romeo will clear the zone. Blue Devils with the puck. Minute 5 left on the power play. Their first of the night. Alex Gordon across the blue line. Gordon with the puck. Now quick shot. Saved there by Davis on the shot by Tanaik. 58 seconds left on the power play.
Another good save by the Romeo goaltender. He smothered that one, didn't give up any rebound.
Tim Ellis will have the call tomorrow afternoon of Sault High taking on Utica Eisenhower. That game will be at 3 o'clock. Final at the Taffy Able Arena. Alaska with a 5-3 win over the Lakers. Now the Blue Devils with the puck, still on the power play for 50 seconds. Aiden Armstrong with it. Armstrong dumps it down low. Picked up by Larson. Larson with the puck. Along the near boards, Thurston. Back to the point. Aiden Armstrong shot blocked there, but kept, no, not kept in as that bounces over the stick of the Blue Devil player down the ice. 30 seconds left on the Sault High power play. Blue Devils with the puck. Nice move again by Thurston. Boy, he's stick handling well. Across the blue line. Thurston still has the puck. Goes around two, puts a shot, and a goal! Aaron Bumbacco gives the Sault High Blue Devils a 2-0 lead on the power play, and credit number 21, Matthew Thurston, for setting that up. 2-0 Sault High.
Again, though, Thurston goes the length of the ice, skated by 3 Romeo players.
Yeah.
Not one of them.
Not even touching him. Didn't even breathe on him.
Let him go right by. I mean, kudos to Thurston for speed and the puck movement up the ice. But
so Bumbacco will get the goal. Thurston with the assist.
That's the big goal right there. They needed that.
Yeah. On the power play.
Breathe a little easier now.
So Bumbacco with the goal, his second point of the night. So they give Mackett the other assist. At 2:26 of the period, or 3:26. 2:26. I didn't hear it. Doesn't matter. 2-0 Sault High.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's what matters.
Behind the net. Blue Devils looking to get more here. That one will go down the ice. Now here's Romeo chasing it. 14:26 now. Come on, Bob. You gotta go the other way.
He's just doing the time on the clock.
Okay. Math's kind of tough for him. Now here's Bumbacco across the blue line. That's going to be offside as number 12, Kevin Smith. You should hear. Well, you've heard all the the razzing we give Bobby because we can actually mic him into the broadcast there.
Oh, yeah.
So 13:38 to play in the third period. Sault High with a 2-0 lead. Speaking of the Sioux Eagles, they are currently in action at Cochrane. That one late in the third, still tied at 3. So Eagles can hopefully get that one to overtime, at least get a point, as they are in a dogfight in the West Division with Blind River, the Thunderbirds, and Rayside Balfour.
They have a couple games in hand, though.
They do. Yeah. Quite a few, actually.
Yeah. So they're sitting good.
Yeah, they are. 15-10. That's a good record for them at this stage.
Mm-hmm. It's early.
Now puck at center ice. Blue Devils with a 2-0 lead. Puck in their own zone. Logan Mackey at center ice, taken there by Alec Armstrong. Now the Bulldogs will shoot it in. Mackey with the puck. Mackey plays that one high off the glass. Down to Jones. Jones trying to get around his defender. He does. Jones with the puck. Along the near boards. Now Jones still has it. Jones with the shot. Saved by Davis. Yeah, they're just standing around here, Dan.
Pretty passive.
Now here's Mackey. Mackey down low to Thurston. Thurston slides it over to Jones. Back to Thurston behind the net. Thurston with the puck. Over to Armstrong. Alec Armstrong back to the point. Gordon's shot hits a player in front. Taken by Romeo. That's Gillum. And this Romeo team, they're 2-0, so they're not like they're a terrible team by any stretch. They're just not having a good night.
Who'd they play?
Well, we'll have to look at that here as a quick whistle there as that puck was loose. So Sault High gets a break as Romeo played Lowell, Caledonia. Don't know who they are. And then Utica. So I don't know if Utica...
Not your real powerhouses in the state of Michigan in hockey.
No.
But it's early in the year. I'm not, But from what I've seen here, they just they don't want to be physical at all.
No.
And it's hurt them. I mean, bad.
Sault High Blue Devil Hockey brought to you by Antlers Restaurant. Dine in an outdoor atmosphere. And also brought to you by the Wicked Sister. Burgers, starters, snacks, shareables, soups, and tapas. One of the #1 pub in the Upper Peninsula on Ashman Street. And Blue Devil Hockey also brought to you by O'Connor's in Pickford. Check out their full line of Dodge, truck, Ram, and Jeep vehicles. Now we have a penalty here, Dan, on the Bulldogs. I didn't see what happened.
It was something down there in the corner after the whistle. I think somebody took liberty with the young Rafaelle goalie there.
Sault High will get on the power play, their second of the night. So unsportsmanlike conduct, the call on Lindecker, who got the last penalty. So Sault High back on the power play. Boy, you fear if they get one more in, that's really going to, I wouldn't say put a nail in the coffin, but it's going to go a long way towards a victory.
Yeah, and he's one of their better players, too.
Yeah. Now the Blue Devils with the puck, cross the blue line. Aiden Armstrong with it. Armstrong sets it up, back to the point. Mackey slides it over, loft the boards to Thurston. Thurston back to Mackey. Now Mackey over. Aiden Armstrong. Pass, shot, goal! Aiden Armstrong with a nice pass to Matthew Thurston. And the Blue Devils, their second straight power play goal, they lead by the score of 3-0. Boy, that looked easy.
Yeah, Thurston got rewarded for the hard work he's been doing out there. He was wide open on the back door.
So Thurston will get the goal, but credit the pass by number 5, Aiden Armstrong.
Nice tape cross-ice pass.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah, exactly.
Luckily, it was easier for the Blue Devils on that one, Dan.
Oh.
So, whoops, thank you.
I feel like Harry Carey up here. I haven't even had a beverage.
Well, you're not drunk. Yeah, I was going to say, you're good there. So that goal will be at 6:20. So Matthew Thurston, his second point, and Blue Devils want more. Cross the blue line. So Mackey gets his second straight assist.
Well, it was bound to happen, all the pucks getting to this goalie.
3-0 Blue Devils, 11:10 to play here in the third period. Here's Romeo, clears the zone. It's been all Sault High really from the drop of the puck, Dan.
Yeah.
They haven't had any lapses really at all.
I hate to keep saying it, but I haven't seen a high school team play this lack of physical play since I started watching high school hockey.
It's been pretty noticeable, to say the least. Now shot back in by the Blue Devils. That'll be icing. So we'll have a face-off in the Sault High zone with 10:46 to play here in the third period. 3-0 in favor of the Blue Devils.
I'll tell you, when we went down there, what was it, 2 or 3 years ago, they didn't play like this.
No.
They were hammering everybody.
Sault High Blue Devil Hockey brought to you by Quaker State Quick and Clean. High-quality soft cloth car wash and oil change. Quaker State Quick and Clean on the I-75 Business Spur in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan.
That's a tongue twister.
It is, yeah. I have to say that one a little slow. Now we're going to have a trip there on the ice. No call. Picked up by the Bulldogs. Sault High leads 3-0, looking to remain undefeated on the season. If they win this one, they'll be 4-0-1.
Good start.
As they will take on Utica Eisenhower tomorrow afternoon at 3. Now the Blue Devils with the puck. Aiden Armstrong in the slot. Now that one just goes wide. Picked up by Caden Brown along the near boards. Now Armstrong with it. Aiden Armstrong, number 5, with the puck. All sorts of room out there. Armstrong in the slot, a shot, save, rebound. Puck goes loose. Again, you'd rather Romeo just standing around, just not even breathing on anybody. Now a quick shot there. One-timer by Armstrong. Why not? As he got a lot on it, but it went high. Under 10 to play in the third period. Now Romeo trying to create something.
Turnovers.
Yeah. Now along the end board, centering chance, a shot, save, rebound, puck loose, and a nice save there by Drake Davis as that one was heading towards the back of the net on the shot by Larson.
Yeah, they better buy that young man a steak after this game.
Yes, indeed. Go to the Antlers.
Oh, yeah.
I think they still have steaks available tonight.
Wow. I don't know if those shots are right either. I've been watching.
It seems like they're missing a lot of Sault High shots, aren't they?
It was 18, and we've scored 3 goals, or 2 goals since.
Yeah.
But anyway,
now
it's domination.
Others will complain about shot clocks endlessly around here. We won't do that.
Nope. It's a lot to not very many.
Yeah, that's right. Now here's Romeo, puck at center ice, taken away by Mackey. Mackey will shoot it off the boards, off the stick of Thurston down the ice. Romeo trailing by 3. 9:15 to play in the third period. Now we're going to have a tripping call, I believe, on Romeo. So Sault High 2 for 2 on the power play this period. They're going to go on their third unless they put the puck in right now. Sault High still has the puck. And along the end boards, finally picked up by Romeo. So Sault High is going to go back on the power play with 8:56 to play here in this third period. Sault High Blue Devil Hockey brought to you by War Memorial Hospital. The right care is right here.
Yeah, Romeo didn't get off the bus.
No. When we talked about that, Dan, with Utica Eisenhower, obviously a little better team, it appears, than Romeo. They got off to a slow start, but they eventually got their legs going. Romeo maybe they're just not that good of a team, but boy, the effort just has not been there, has it?
Yeah, no, not to take anything away from Sault High, but
no.
Romeo hasn't helped themselves at all.
So the Blue Devils back on the power play, leading by 3. Sault High with the puck. Gordon over in the far corner. Blue Devils setting up the power play. Nice move by Gordon. Now Gordon still has it. Shot. Hits a player in front. Back to the point. Thurston shot. Nice pad save there by Davis. Romeo just standing in front of the net. Now the Bulldogs with the puck. Cody across center ice. Now Cody across the blue line. 1-on-4 with the shot. Goes over the glove of Rafaelle, who has definitely not been the busier of the 2 netminders tonight.
No, he hasn't worked up much of a sweat in this game.
Now, minute 20 left on the power play for the Blue Devils. Some action behind the play. Now here's Sault High with a chance. Backhand shot. Hits the side of the net by Brown. Thurston over in the far corner. Thurston, nice move again. Thurston back to the point. Moving in. Shot. Saved by Davis on tonight's opportunity. Minute 3 left on the Blue Devil power play.
Matt Thurston again with another nice pass, but tonight just shot it right into the Romeo sign on the goalie's chest.
The Eagles and Cochran in overtime, so the Eagles will at least get a point tonight. They were down 3-1.
That's a long road trip.
Yeah, boy, it's a long way up there.
Wow.
Never been there. I've been as far as Wawa, and that's far enough for me.
You got to go to Kirkland Lake.
We'll see. Maybe I'll make a road trip one time.
Do it in the summer.
Yeah, right, yeah. Go there in July for some fishing, maybe. Now Ian Armstrong at the point.
They have an all-winter ice fishing tournament.
I'm good with fishing in the summer, thank you very much. Puck at center ice. Blue Devils still on the power play. 35 seconds remaining. They lead by 3. 7:30 to play in the third period. Sault High with the puck. Thurston across the blue line. Thurston waiting. Setting up the power play. Puts it in front. Taken away by the Bulldogs and shot down the ice. I can't tell you enough how much I've been impressed by Matthew Thurston tonight.
He's had a nice game.
Now the Blue Devils with it. Logan Mackey at his own blue line.
He should be flying around. He started the season with the Indians.
Yeah.
So the team speed. And
now here's Sault High moving to the net. Larson pass over. Oh, great opportunity, but Bumbacco just couldn't get his stick on it. No. Now Romeo back at full strength, so Sault High 2 of 3 on the power play. They lead by 3. Under 7 minutes to play in this third period. Larson behind the net. Aiden Armstrong. Now Armstrong draws 2 players on him. Goes back to the point. Logan Mackey gets it to Larson. Now Larson in the slot. Sault High looks like they've been on the power play most of this game.
Yes. Yeah.
Now Romeo can't clear the zone. Thurston with a centering chance. And the goal!
Bumbacco again.
Thurston to Bumbacco, and it's 4-0 Sault High.
It's a hat trick.
6:21 to play. Now he's got 2.
Sorry.
But 3 points.
My math again. I didn't go to Sault High either.
What is that supposed to mean? That's right, you're one of those saints.
That's right. Yeah.
So Aaron Bumbacco from Matthew Thurston. So both of them have 3 points. Dan, I don't know if I alerted you to this, but you're picking our 3 stars tonight.
I have them already.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think it's too tough tonight.
No.
And so that one will be at the 12-something mark, 41.
Yep.
So Bumbacco gets his second goal, his 3rd point. Matthew Thurston gets his 3rd point.
Nice game.
Yes, indeed. 4-0 Sault High, so full marks to the Blue Devils tonight.
Yep. Yeah. By the way, they're ranked number 10 in Division 3 today.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, not going to lose any stature on that. Now Landis at the point. Taken away by Romeo. Romeo's going to have to rebound quickly here, and that's going to be a penalty on the Blue Devils.
Yeah.
And so that'll be the 3rd power play opportunity for Romeo.
Penalty kill's been good tonight, though, so I wouldn't worry too much about it.
No. Sault High Blue Devil Hockey brought to you by the Sioux Co-op Credit Union. Strong, independent, and local. Your local credit union. And brought to you by Chuck Renzi Ford. You have a relative in the car business at Chuck Renzi Ford in Newberry. Stop in at 309 Newberry Avenue or check them out on Facebook, Chuck Renzi Ford of Newberry.
Timeout from Romeo.
Romeo gets a timeout here. They're going to have to really drop a lot here, Dan, as it just hasn't been their night.
I don't know. I coached for a while. I don't remember a 4-goal play.
A 4-goal play,
There's no power play you're going to score 4 goals.
Yes, indeed. And so the Lakers, as we mentioned, have lost tonight. They lose to Alaska by the score of 5-3. The Greyhounds have won in overtime by the score of 3-2. And the Sioux Eagles in overtime in Cochrane. They're in the first overtime. Of course, the NOJHL. I like how they do overtimes. To me, this is the perfect overtime. NHL should take a note. 4-on-4 first 5 minutes, 3-on-3 the second 5 minutes, and then you just end the thing at a tie.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with ties.
Yes. So you agree? See, that's soccer analogy there.
No.
No?
That's just tired of the shootout.
It is.
It was nice for a while, but I'm tired of it.
Well,
especially when you play 60 minutes, what's wrong with the tie?
Well, and what I've said on the game, our sports show on Monday night, #shameless plug for the game, is it skewers the standings. You have so many teams that are above 500.
Yeah.
I mean, the Wings were above 500 for crying out loud, and they're nowhere near above 500 team. No. Get rid of the shootouts.
Yeah. I think Romeo here, they're just looking for something positive to happen. They pulled their goalie. Something positive to happen here in the late stages of the game they can build on for tomorrow.
Yeah, so the net is empty. Sault High can, the advantage here is they can shoot it down the ice and not get an icing.
They don't want the goose egg either. You know?
Now a shot that goes wide. 6-on-4 right now for Romeo. Doing old Frank Angelo pulling the goalie with a lot of time left.
Yeah, it works.
Now here's the Bulldogs with it, looking for their first goal centering chance. Romeo with the shot, and a save there as a Blue Devil player gets bowled over by probably the smallest player on the ice, Kyle Giza.
Not a bad move, though. I mean, you don't want to be blanked in any game, But this might be the only time they can actually play with the Blue Devils.
Right.
The way this game's been going.
Yeah, you're right. 5:22 to play. Yep, 5:22 to play in the third period. Face off to the right of Rafaelle. Nope. As the Blue Devils now have a 2-on-1.
It's going to be an open netter.
Here's Larson. They go offside. Oh, my goodness sakes. You'll never have an easier chance to score a goal there.
11.
Oh, my goodness. Ben
Larson.
Jones.
Benny made one move at the blue line, and Thurston skated him offside.
Yes, indeed.
Either that or he wanted the puck, and he was mad he didn't pass it to him. But no, I think he made one too many moves there.
Net's still empty for the Bulldogs. They have it at center ice. And the Blue Devils can just shoot it down the ice and not get any icing call.
You can get away with that when it's 4-0. If it was a 1-goal game,
Coach might go off the boards. Might be a goal here, Dan. And it is. Number 11, Ben Jones, will give the Blue Devils a 5-0 lead with 4:58 to play here in the third period.
So the timeout kind of backfired.
Yeah, it's one of those games that you just, I always say it's a Control-Alt-Delete game. Just get rid of it. You don't even want to see it. Just get it the heck out of here. If you're the Sault High Blue Devils, you want to recreate this.
Yeah. Well, I can guarantee you tomorrow's game isn't going to be like this one here.
No.
Yeah.
No, indeed.
Look, Eisenhower's a pretty good team.
So that goal will go to Ben Jones. There should be an assist. Now here's a chance, a shot. Goes wide. So tonight gets the assist. He had the shot that hit off the end boards and down the ice, and well, they almost called an icing there, but they forgot that Sault High's still shorthanded. You wouldn't know it.
The goalie had his arm up, and Lance was looking at him, and he almost blew the whistle. Wait a minute.
So that one shot down the ice. 5-0 Blue Devils, 4:30 to play in this third period. Sault High's going to improve to 4-0-1 on the season. Romeo will have their first loss. We'll have our post-game show coming up, sponsored by Sioux Co-op Credit Union, where we'll recap the scoring, and Dan Lasley will give us our 3 stars of the game. No pressure.
All right.
Romeo with the puck at center ice. Shot in, glove down by Rafaelle. Shots on goal 23-8 in favor of the Blue Devils, as we have a whistle and we'll have a face-off in the Blue Devil zone.
Yeah. Actually, after Tuesday's game, in short rest, the Blue Devils played pretty well.
They played very well, yeah. They just had that jump from the opening face-off against the team.
The whole game.
Yeah,
they're still skating hard.
Now the Blue Devils with the puck, leading by 5. Clow across the blue line. Clow in the slot. Again, Romeo just standing around. Yeah. I can't get over how much they are not even.
I don't get it.
Have they had a hit tonight?
No,
seriously, have they had a hit?
I don't know. And Clow, he's an underclassman. What is he? Is he a sophomore or a freshman?
Who's that, Clow?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a freshman.
He's a Bantam.
Yeah.
And he's dangling through these juniors and seniors out here.
Yeah, you have 3. You have Logan Rafaelle, Rob Landis, and Elijah Clow. And Alec Armstrong. 4 freshmen. Then, they should be first-year Bantams.
Yep. And they're just skating through these guys.
Now Romeo with the puck. They'll shoot it along the boards. Rafaelle with the puck behind the net. That one shot back to center.
Man. Initiating contact.
Yeah, boy. Now there's a hit finally, I think. They must have
first or second
been mic'd into the broadcast here.
Yeah.
As Refusinski with the puck.
Oh, got away with a little elbow there.
Now Smith behind the net. He scored the first goal for the Blue Devils. Smith with 1. Bumbacco with 2. Thurston and Jones with the others. Under 3 to play in this third period. It has been all Sault High from the opening face-off.
All Sault High.
Yeah. And now here the Blue Devils with it across the blue line. Bumbacco looking for the hat trick shot, save, rebound, as Davis will hold on to that one. And you look at the score 5-0. Really, the score is not as close as really this game was. It was more than that.
Could have been 8-9 easy. Bumbacco there, he almost he looked that off like he was going to pass it. The goalie started to make his move, and then he almost snuck it through the 5-hole.
Face off the left of goaltender Drake Davis, won by the Bulldogs. Blue Devils with the puck. Now it's center ice. Romeo has it. Giza, he gets knocked down. Rob Landis on the near side boards. Puck bouncing. Taken there by Slag. Over at the far boards. Romeo trying to get something going here. Now the Bulldogs with the puck behind the net. That's Lindecker. He tries to get it to the point. That one will go all the way down the ice to Davis with 2 minutes to play. Romeo with the puck in their own zone at center ice. Shot back in there by Landis. Now behind the net. Bulldogs just play that off the boards. They'll have the early game tomorrow against Marquette at 1 o'clock, and Sault High will take on Utica Eisenhower. So if this was a showcase tournament, Dan, that would be the final game, as both Utica and the Sault High Blue Devils about to win. Utica won earlier over Marquette 7-5.
Worked out like that at the last one at the Elks.
Yeah, you're right. Sault High will be in one tournament. They don't really have a lot of tournaments anymore.
Rapids.
The Big Rapids one, that'll be on December 21st and 22nd. Minute 15 to play. There's really only one thing in doubt, which we can't talk about.
Oh, yeah, we can. I'm not superstitious. The 3 game stars?
Yes, exactly. The 3 game stars. That shot wide with a minute left to play here in this third period. So
Jeez.
The happy home fans will be going home happy.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they're already happy. Now here's a chance for the
Oh.
Blue Devils. Elijah Clow.
Skates through 2 players.
Yeah. Now he still has the
still
puck.
has the
Clow lost the
Beautiful.
puck, slides it over to Bumbacco. His shot goes wide. 40 seconds to play. Clow with it. Now the Bulldogs just going to shoot that one down the ice. As Rafaelle makes his 9th save.
9th.
And
Wow.
he could have a first something here in a matter of 25 seconds.
I can't believe they counted that as a shot.
As
on goal.
well, you might as well at this point. That one shot down the ice, under 20 seconds to play. So the Sault High Blue Devils, a dominating performance from start to finish.
Yes.
As we have 10 seconds left, as 2 goals by Aaron Bumbacco, Kevin Smith, Matthew Thurston, and Ben Jones with the goal, and freshman Logan Rafaelle will get his first shutout as a Sault High Blue Devil. Our final score, Sault High 5, Romeo nothing. You notice how I waited until the very last second.
Yes.
We'll be back with our post-game show here on Eagle 95.1. Back at the Big Bear Arena, Scott Nason along with Dan Lasley. Our final score here in Game 2 of the CVB Showcase. The Sault High Blue Devils with a 5-0 lead over the Romeo Bulldogs. Our post-game show sponsored by the Sioux Co-op Credit Union. Strong, independent, and local, your credit union. Well, Dan, it was Sault High from start to finish. They started off strong. They outshot the Bulldogs by the total of 11-3 in the first period. No score. They led 1-0 after 2, and we talked about at the second intermission about, it's one of those games where they've done everything right, but that score was 1-0, and then the Blue Devils get 4 goals in the third period, and win by the score of 5-0. Before we get to your 3 stars, thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I thought they came out and did what they needed to do after, they had a strong start. Only had 1 goal, but they kept plugging away, and eventually wore down the other team and the goalie and got some pucks behind the goalie on some nice passes, by the way. Some nice passes and nice shots. And a nice win.
And Big Daddy.
Big
Daddy.
Daddy
Somebody
walking through,
you got to love that. Your 3 stars tonight, sir. A lot of pressure on your 3 stars, but I think it was pretty clear cut in this case. Who do you have as your 3 stars tonight?
3rd star of the game, of course, he got his first shutout. Logan Rafaelle played a good game. Didn't get a lot of action, but when he did, he made some really nice saves, especially in the second period to keep Romeo off the board. 2nd star, Matt Thurston. Had a goal and 2 assists. A lot of energy all night long. He was all over the rink. Could have very easily been the 1st star, but Aaron Bumbacco, 2 goals and an assist. I mean, big goals at big times when the Blue Devils only had a 1-goal lead. So there's the 3 stars: Bumbacco, Thurston, Rafaelle.
Well, Dan Lasley, I want to thank you for joining us. We'll do this again in January when I fill in for Tim a couple more times. Enjoy your weekend, sir.
Too.
And we'll see you down the road, my friend.
Okay, we'll see you at the rink.
And don't forget, our next Sault High Blue Devil hockey game will be tomorrow afternoon, as Tim Ellis will have the call of the Sault High Blue Devils taking on Utica Eisenhower. Pre-game show around 2:45 with the face-off at 3. Want to thank our broadcast engineer, Lance Monroe, back in the Eagle 95.1 studios. Great job. And good luck, Lance, tomorrow as the Laker basketball team, the men, will take on Tiffin at 3. The women, I should say, will play at 1 o'clock. That's going to do it here from the Big Bear Arena. I want to thank everyone for tuning in, and you have been listening to Sault High Blue Devil Hockey on Eagle 95.1.